Couple of years down the road, you wake up one morning, you stretch, and you think about how things change,
Yeah, brother.
you know? And you're thinking to
Yeah.
yourself, you know, it's crazy. When I compare my life now to how it was a year ago, it's crazy how much better it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A year, you're thinking to yourself, it was just a year ago that, you were on a charitably, we'll call it a losing streak. You were living in a town called Blorp. Uh, it's a town that is designed for people whose lives have fallen apart.
Great. Blorp. I'm a Blorpian.
Yeah, but no longer, you
Oh
you
no.
were able to turn your life around. Yeah. Blorp is very cheap. Um, it's also a place where it's really easy to break your lease. If you break a lease
Yeah.
there is nothing happens. You could show up to them and be going, "Hey man, I'm moving out tomorrow," and they're just like, "All right, just return the keys if you remember."
You're very chill, it sounds like.
It's more like they're just more apathetic than anything else.
Because Blorp is where you go when your life is falling apart. So even the people who work there, their lives have been falling apart. It's a town full of
Absolutely.
miserable people. Oh God.
Yeah,
Well, that's why
yeah. And so
everybody's giving up.
everybody has given up. Everyone lives on the edge of town. It's a place that it doesn't foster a lot of like you know, good vibes. And you've discovered this about yourself. You need good vibes in order to thrive. You call it your vibin' and thriving theory.
Vibin' and thriving theory.
Yeah, it's your theory about how that you've written up about
I've written
how
it up.
yeah, you
Great.
wrote it down one time, yeah. Uh like you woke up in the middle of the night, half asleep and just wrote this down and like fell back asleep.
Those are the best ideas.
Yep. And it's about how whenever you're out somewhere that has some serious vibes, you do find yourself in a thriving position. And it's because it's like a mental thing, and you realize that. And you started, thinking more positively. And you find that almost from the second that you start thinking more positively about life, it turns around. You're,
Yeah.
yeah, you are the host of what is considered to be the surprise hit of the season. It's people are comparing it to when Who Wants to Be a Millionaire first came out.
Wait, I'm hosting a television show?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yep.
How? How the fuck did I get that?
Um, so it's being produced by Lanalax Entertainment. The head of the TV division, um, Dwight Childless, he saw a
White childless?
Dwight is his first name. His last
Yeah.
name is Childless. Yes.
As in without child. Does
It's just
Dwight
his
have any kids
it's his
himself?
last name. Yeah, he has 12.
Holy shit. The
Yeah.
irony.
He and his wife, Aaron, and it wouldn't surprise me if they had 12 more. He and his wife
Oh,
cannot keep their hands off each other. And it's
well, good
been
for
like
them.
that. It's been like that since they first got together at the tender ages of 20.
They turned 20 and then started hooking up and they were just ravenous.
Ever since then, yeah, it has been, yeah, they have been ravenous. Luckily, They both have an all you can eat pass to the buffet, baby. If you know what I'm saying.
Just I don't. I don't know you. I don't know what
They
you're
just,
trying to get.
they've never lost the spark
Oh,
of,
this isn't like an ass eating thing
no, no, no. It was a metaphor.
for like their continued
Their
flame,
continued,
their
yeah,
unextinguished flame.
yeah. They're like, they're fond of saying that, you know, Kennedy's eternal flame will be snuffed out before ours will be, and that's a promise.
Jesus Christ. They got a plan or something, or they're just so sure.
Well, Aaron, I mean, they said that like, like 15 years into the marriage.
All right.
So Dwight and Bernadette, childless. Anyway, so they cannot keep their hands off each other, and they are devout Catholics. So there is no, birth control being used.
Contraception. Yeah, yeah.
No, no, no. That is like a not a thing for them.
Just raw dogging it.
Yeah, but they really do not like that term. They're kind of,
Oh, really?
no, oh no, well, no. He's not gonna be like, hey, me and my wife, we raw dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're all dull. Ooh.
Though both of them, and this is like clearly some kind of like kink thing that they don't tell anyone else about. They both have a tattoo of like a dog's face and like secret hidden parts on their body. You know what I mean? To sim
What?
to symbolize
They're
all
raw
of,
doggedness?
yep. But they're like, they're a proper Catholic family. They can't, their thing is that they go, look, we are man and wife, it's no big deal that when that happens. But at the same time, it's not that we're gonna like lie to people, but we're not gonna like lead with our fantastic sex life. You know what I mean? That's private. That's between us.
Or like at some point, like it becomes dangerous for like the woman to conceive. Like at what point
Yeah.
do they, you know,
Not Bernadette. She
really?
has, yeah, she has a what the doctors because after her like 10th child, they were like, maybe you might want to think about like slowing down. And she's like, and she kind of like looks at him and she's like, slow down. Like our anniversary is coming up. Absolutely not. And they're like, okay. And they kind of like did like through their ultrasounds, they realized that she actually has what is considered to be, and I don't know what like the Latin term for this would be, but she has essentially an invulnerable womb.
You don't know what the Latin term is, unfortunately, for an invulnerable womb.
Well, yeah, that's like the medical thing. They had to have like it turned so they have a new guy who works at the hospital or whatever who like he's a Latin expert and they have him on hand in case they
Oh,
have
great,
questions or anything like
great.
that. He's on like retainer basically. And so they had to hire a new one. It turned out the last one was just making shit up. He had no knowledge of Latin whatsoever.
Sure.
So when they came up with new things and they had to name it, he would just be like, "Oh yeah, call it Optimus Rexine." And they're like, "Okay, what does that mean?" And he's like, "Oh, it means you know the tender foot of Venus." And they're like, "Whoa," like blown away. So they have like a new guy, and he knows his shit. They're not going to make that mistake again. So anyway, so I guess we'd have to ask him what the Latin is for invulnerable womb. But so essentially, like this woman is going to be able to have kids for quite some time. Is what I'm trying to say.
So
So
she's a
anyway,
medical anomaly. Like
yeah,
there's something extraordinary about this woman
yep,
that she can continue to birth children well into her, past the normal childbearing years,
yeah,
like without danger.
completely without danger. They're like,
That's insane.
like she's like, yeah, they're like, we don't have all the info yet, but we estimate that you'll still be able to give birth, as old as probably, early 60s. And then she turns to Dwight, her husband, and they lock eyes and they both wink at the exact same time. And she's like, I'm into this.
Into this is what she says.
Yeah, to assure her husband and her doctor. You know, some women really enjoy being pregnant, and she is one of them. So anyway, so he saw the head of the TV division of Lanalax Entertainment, Dwight Childless. He saw a video that you put out. Um, you were doing how sometimes there's those like Halloween shows where it's comics doing other comics acts, like they dress up as another
Yeah, yeah,
comedian.
yeah,
A lot of times it's for like they'll do it with like dead comedians like we used to do here.
yeah.
Um, where it's like, oh, so you did one of those shows
Okay,
called, yeah, it was like a Halloween show. And so you had to be a dead comedian. And when you showed up, I guess you kind of assumed that like Ray Romano was dead, but he's not. And so you had to go up and be like, fuck. And you had to go up there and just kind of riff on the fact that, like, all right, look, well, yeah, I can't do a Ray Romano or anything, but you go up and you just perform as Ray Romano and you talk about how
you can't do a Ray Romano.
I don't think I've ever tried.
Hi. Well, it turns out I'm not dead. Really thought I was. Really kind of wish I was. First time I've ever wished death on anyone.
And you just fucking like murder. And what do you think of that, by the way?
We'll talk about it later on.
I've never even tried it
Oh,
before.
we'll talk about it off pod.
All right, well, whatever. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
yeah, it won't be coming back.
so you so you go up and he saw the video didn't go like viral necessarily, but it got a bunch of hits. And one of them was Dwight Childless. And he was like, who is this? And then he saw a bunch of clips of you on online and he was like, I know the perfect vehicle for this guy. You are hosting a show. It's hour long, game show slash reality show type thing where
Okay,
it's a family. They have to, they're given a budget to fix a house up and then flip it.
okay,
So the whole thing is like, all right, so this family, they're given, a certain amount of money. And with that amount of money, they turn a turn a house around, basically. Not necessarily a decrepit house, but definitely not a great one. Thus keeping the budget low. Though sometimes they're fairly decrepit. Now that I think about it. But anyway, and they have to then sell it after they fix it up. And if they can't flip the house successfully, they lose their actual house.
what?
But if they flip the house successfully, then they get all of that money. They don't have to put up any of their own money for it.
So the stakes are their own home for collateral versus whatever they would make in a flip situation.
Yeah. But
Jesus
the money is
Christ.
put up by the network. So it's like it's a big risk, but it's a risk where, the only thing you have to lose is your house. That's their like tagline.
What's the show called?
It's called flippers. Flippers or floppers. Because if you can't,
Flippers or
yeah,
floppers?
if you successfully flip the house, then you're called a flipper. And if you don't, and you have to you lose your house to the network, you're called a flop. You're labeled a flopper.
So how many episodes of this are made?
The first series that you did, or not series, the first season that you did, it was 20 episodes.
How many flippers versus how many floppers?
It's about even.
No way.
Yeah. because
No.
there's some people who but it makes for some pretty compelling episodes, dude, because there
Yeah.
are some people who they fuck up bad. You know what I mean? They don't even come close. And there's some people who they do everything right, and it just still they're not able to flip it. So even though it's like people go watching it are like, holy shit, how are they not? It's just, it just sometimes just doesn't happen. It's like anything in life.
Wow.
So Flippers or Floppers is a bona fide hit.
Yeah. And I'm the host. I'm the one
Yeah.
facilitating this.
Yep.
Oh man, that sucks.
Flippers or Floppers with Aaron Brooks.
I probably like take their keys from them as like the last shot. Oh no.
Yeah, you guys, that's like kind of like the iconic shot of the series is you like taking someone's like house keys from them.
We're both holding the key and like one of our hands says flippers and then the other one says floppers. That's like the picture. And there's like a set of keys in the middle. Each of us are
Yeah.
holding it.
It wins the Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have this is so Flippers or Floppers is a fucking hit, dude.
That's insane.
And so you're thinking about how like it's crazy. Like, a year ago I was in Blorp and now I'm in what is referred to as the hottest up and coming neighborhood of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It's called Monster Island.
Monster Island.
Monster Island is a an island off of in the Pacific or whatever that has been around for a very long time, but only came into view about in the 70s. So it's kind of an odd place, but it's being gentrified like fuck, dude. And you are
Getting in on
getting
it.
in on the ground floor. This is the place where 5 years from now, once they do something about um, the crabs, then they will be like it will be a very trendy, very expensive place to live.
Can you explain the crab situation? It seems like that's the big stumbling block, but I'm going in there, crab be damned.
So the crab situation is that the tide on Monster Island is a little hard to predict. Sometimes it's like, very placid, sometimes it's just like crazy waves. It's like anything. It's like any, beaches work or whatever. However, it doesn't always correspond to like the rest of the coast. And so there's crabs that come out once a day. They come out from the ocean and they all just kind of stand on the beach and they like raise their like claws up and they try to like claw at the sun. Like they're clearly doing some kind of ritual. And they show up once a day. No one ever knows when. They just kind of show up and do it. Um, so they're like, well, we should probably do something about that. But once that's taken care of, then this place is going to
Can't
explode.
can't stop that. You can't stop a crab ritual from happening. A daily crab ritual. Like you're not gonna unless you like start killing these crabs, and people are gonna lose their fucking minds over that.
The people of Monster Island are kind of indifferent about that. They're kind of like, we've kind of had it with these crabs, to be honest with you. So they're probably not going to care. But I mean, who knows? PETA might show up or someone like that. But so basically, so Monster Island, there's
Can
not
they
like
be
a
fished?
pardon me.
Can they be fished?
Yeah, of course.
Oh well, then yeah, okay. Then yeah, somebody will come over there. Yeah, somebody in
It's
Los
right
Angeles will come over there and eat a bunch
right
of
now.
free crab.
Right now, it's a fairly, it's like a sparsely populated island. You know what I mean? There's definitely like places to live, but there's not always a lot of people who. It's very active at night. During the day, it feels like hardly anyone lives there.
Yeah,
Yeah. But at
almost like a
night,
ghost town.
I suppose you could say that.
Oh, fuck you.
So you're out on Monster Island and you
Yeah.
are kind of loving life, man. You really are. You know, the TV show Flippers or Floppers is going well. You're trying to get a like a spin-off under your own production company. You've started a production company and you're trying to do a spin-off of Flippers or Floppers uh called Pilots versus Truckers.
What the fuck is pilots versus truckers? Like pilot, like as in like a plane, flying a plane?
Yeah, so there's been a there there's like a big rivalry a few years down the road between like pilots and truckers
Like
where
long haul truckers.
yeah, where they're like, look, man, like without us, everything in this country would go to shit.
Yeah.
And who would care about, the fact that you can fly through the air and defy God. Big deal. We got, the shit that matters. And they start talking a lot of shit. And they actually get it. There's some truckers who they can actually their CB radios are so powerful that they're able to kind of tap into like, pilot, planes that are flying by and
Yeah.
just and just like hear what they're saying and like just talk shit. Hey, how's the view up there? You
That's what
fucking
they say. That's how
asshole.
they're how's the view up there? Like you're talking to a guy, a kid who grew to 6 feet in junior high.
It's just one example. So, or they'll be like, "Hi, how's the food tonight? I bet it's pretty shitty, you fucking assholes." Stuff like that.
This
And
sucks.
so there's a big rivalry, and so you're kind of tapping into that, and it's pilots and truckers fighting in their respective forms of transportation. However, it's like a simulation. It's like a computer thing. You know what I mean? They're not actually really fighting. And so you're pitching it as getting to know a pilot, getting to know a trucker, and then just having them, go to battle at the end of the episode. So you're
How
you're,
the
you're
fuck are
pitching.
they gonna go to battle? It's a truck and a plane. Neither one known for their on the nose maneuverability.
That's part of the show. Is
How the fuck is a truck driver? How is a trucker gonna harm a plane?
because the truckers are given like three things in the simulation to like haul or whatever, and they're able to use those as weapons.
What? What do you have to haul? And how do you use it to take down a fucking plane?
Um,
Plane.
heat heat to like heat seeking bazookas is one.
Okay.
And the planes are given like this is a simulation, so they're given like laser beams and shit like that. Like they're both given like very, intense weapons because they're
Man,
simulated. They're not real.
this show fucking sucks. This show is so much worse than Flippers or Floppers. Flippers or Floppers had real stakes where people lost their fucking homes.
Yeah.
This is two guys who don't like each other fighting in a fantastical simulation.
But
This
by
fucking
but by the
sucks.
end, I by the end though, most of the time, probably about 95% of the time, like, both combatants, they step out of the simulation and they walk out as friends almost.
That
There's
sucks.
this
That's
weird,
not a TV show anybody's gonna want to watch. They want to see these. They want to see a real life trucker with heat-seeking bazookas
yeah,
and a real life pilot flying over him with laser beams, and they want to see who's gonna win. That's what they
yeah.
want to see happen. They want one of
And
these guys
that's
to die throughout the course of this show,
and that's
not
what you're
like
tr-
become pals.
and that's what you're trying you know, to show them. You're like, look, when you watch, like a fucking, war film, that's not real. It's just like this, except it is real. The emotions are real. Maybe the fighting isn't, but the emotions are. The stakes are not quite
Sucks.
as real.
There's no stakes. This you could do this any time of day, any day of the week, as long as somebody can get off work, right? It would
Pilots
take
versus truckers.
it would take an hour of your time. This one fucking sucks. I don't want any part of pilots versus truckers.
You've like pitched it and stuff, but people are not really.
Yeah, why would I fucking pitch that? That's not the worst idea we've ever had, but it's like not a good idea at all.
So you're you're hanging out. You guys normally will tape like a few times during the year, and right now is your downtime. So you're working on pilots versus truckers. You're living out on Monster Island, and you're kind of like you feel really good about your life, but you're really trying to get this show made. And
I would not.
you're hanging you're hanging out one day. There's like a knock at your door.
Yeah,
What do you do?
I look through the people.
So standing outside of your apartment is this dude.
Yeah,
He's wearing his clothing is like all black. He's got black jeans on,
yeah.
he's got like a very tight black t-shirt.
All right.
He's got like just like rippling muscles that look like bubbles that like are about to pop but never actually do. He's got like a long, black duster type of jacket on.
Yeah,
He's got like a black, almost cowboy like looking hat on.
yeah,
And around his neck is like the biggest golden cross that you've ever seen in your fucking life.
yeah.
He goes, Aaron, may I talk to you for a moment?
Who the fuck are you?
He goes, my name is Theodore von Helsing. And he goes,
Theo.
he goes, do you have like a moment to talk?
I would crack the door open and be like, "What can I do for you, Mister Von Helsing?"
He smiles. He's like, most people just slam the door in my face.
Yeah, I really wanted to. What can I do for you?
So he goes on to tell you that he is a descendant of the Van Helsing monster hunter, monster hunter family.
Yeah,
Throughout the hunt, yeah, through ever since like the founding of America, there has been a Van Helsing fighting the monsters of North America. And he is the latest one
yeah.
of their line. And he goes, Aaron, I'm wondering if I could trouble you for a favor.
What do you need?
He's like, Aaron, I don't know if you've noticed this about Monster Island, but there are some kind of strange things that happen out here.
Yeah,
It's like, the whole thing with the crabs,
yeah. The
the
ritualistic crabs.
there's a even though it's like not the biggest place in the world, Monster Island has the largest blood bank in California,
Yeah.
and it's like closed during the day. It's only open at night.
Jesus Christ.
And he's like, so that's a little strange. And like you probably have barely ever met your neighbors, right? And you're like, yeah, you haven't really. You hear them sometimes, but you've never actually like met them.
Yeah.
He's
Great.
like, Aaron, this place in a few years is going to be like huge. Okay. And the people that move here are going to be, let's face it, torn apart by the fucking monsters that live on this island. It's like there's something evil here, Aaron. There's something that makes monsters. And me and my lineage demands that I do something about it.
Then do something about it. I'm a human being on this island. I'm not I'm not to be hunted by you.
He's like, oh no, 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 no. He's like, no, I have nothing against you at all, Aaron. He's like, I've seen your show a few times. It's a little sadistic, but I see why it's popular. Anyway, all I'm asking for you, the favor that I'm asking for you is I just need a place to crash tonight.
Absolutely not. I'm sorry. You're a complete fucking stranger. You're dressed like a maniac. You're giving me the
Yeah.
story of a maniac. Like I'm sorry. I'm not gonna let a stranger just crash in my fucking house.
He has
I'm
a bunch
really
of
sorry.
he has a bunch of medieval like weaponry like strapped to his
Oh,
back,
yeah, no. You got a bunch of
crossbow.
fucking swords and shit. You got a fucking crossbow. You're gonna bring it to my goddamn apartment.
He's like, Aaron, look, the only way that I can strike back against these monsters is to be here when the sun goes down. But you probably don't even know this yet, but in Monster Island, like no one can go inside anyone else's house without the permission. So like I can't break into anybody's house and lay low or anything like that. You're pretty much the only normal human on this island. So it kind of has to be you. So could I
No,
just
no, without a doubt, no. Without a doubt, no. You need to be here when the sun goes down. That's at latest what? Fucking the longest days of the year. I don't even know, 8 o'clock, 8:30,
because I
whatever.
just need it for tonight.
No, the sun is gonna go down. You're gonna do your shit. You don't need to come back and crash at my place.
He goes, no, no, no. I crash here before I go out and do my shit.
Absolutely not. You're not gonna take a fucking nap in my house. No.
So he goes, so you're saying I can't?
One within 100%. I cannot be more crystal clear.
Say it again.
No. No.
And he nods solemnly. He reaches into
I'm
his like
sorry.
jacket
Best of luck.
and he pulls out like what looks like an old tattered like piece of paper, like a royal decree
Yeah.
stating that today is opposite day.
Are you fucking no, I'm not gonna let this
So
guy in my fucking apartment, Pat. He's got
he
a
just walks in.
crossbow. No,
He goes,
no.
I mean, and he's like, look, this is an ancient law. He goes, Aaron, if
I
this
don't
isn't,
fuck this isn't
he goes, Aaron, you're messing with forces that are beyond your comprehension.
go get
Today
the
is
fuck out of my
opposite
house.
day.
Get out of my house. So okay,
So
stay in my house.
he goes, of course. He just stands there.
No, no, what the fuck? This guy is
He goes, Aaron,
get
look,
the
it's
fuck
really
out of my
important.
house.
He
Get
goes,
out.
are you sure?
Yeah, I don't want you here. I don't want you here.
He's like, he kind of like sighs and he's like, all right, well, sorry, I guess. I guess I'll just he's like, do you have like a
I don't have anything for you. That's what I tell him. I don't have anything for you but the door. And that gets closed when you go through it.
so he walks out and he turns and he goes,
Goodbye. I fucking close that goddamn door before I don't want to hear a thing he says. A decree, Pat. He pulled out a decree saying it was
yeah.
opposite day.
He like you hear him like kind of like and you don't know how you know this, but you can tell from like the way his footsteps echo that he is just trudging away.
Good, good. I love it.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
And you kind of think to yourself like good, I love it.
Yeah.
And you're like, I feel actually very good. And you kind of like look over your like shoulder almost in like a naughty fashion at
Oh,
your
come
bed.
on. At my bed? Oh
Yeah.
no, Pat.
So you're like, and you think to yourself, it's the magic hour. So you turn around fully, and standing in your apartment is this
What
guy.
the fuck? What the fuck, Pat?
And you're kind of like, what? So it's this guy, and he is wearing like a really what clearly used to be a majestic robe, but now it's like just tattered and like, brown in places from dirt and stuff like that, and like ripped and stuff. Um, he has like a scepter that has like except like the head of it with like the jewels and stuff is like fell off like a very long time ago. And on his head is like almost like a golden crown, except it looks like it's a crown you've never seen before. It looks like it's been drawn with a crayon.
Yeah.
So, and he wears it, and he stands in front of you, and he says, "Hello, Aaron. I am the Yellow King."
What the fuck?
And he goes, "And you have broken the cosmic law of opposite day." And then he takes
What
the
the
thing that
fuck?
he
Fuck
takes the
this guy.
thing that used to be a scepter, and he just jabs it through your fucking heart.
What the fuck? Are you kidding me?
He rips the
Are
heart
you
out,
kidding?
and he holds it in front of you, and he goes, "See what happens when you cross the Yellow King."
I say fuck you is my last breath. My last breath, I just say fuck you.
And you hear him go, the last thing you hear before you die, is you hear him go, "Well, fuck you." And then you
Dude,
die.
fuck him. That sucked. All because I wouldn't let that guy stay with me. He had a crossbow and a bunch of medieval weaponry.
Yeah, he wasn't going to use it on you. He wanted to fight the monsters of Monster Island.
Fuck this. This sucks.
And you broke the universal law.
Yeah, yeah. Then I got stabbed in the heart with a headless fucking scepter.
But I wonder what's going to happen to Theodore Van Helsing. Maybe we'll find out
Who
one
fucking
day.
cares?